Hello everyone, welcome to our first ever community session on CSS Animation by Mr. Saurabh. Now we are from Vertocity. Vertocity is an online edtech platform. We are based out of Hyderabad and we are starting up new. We have been operational for the past 2 years and have been serving a lot of students out there, helping them in upskilling, helping them in placements and getting them placed at our partner companies. Check out our website for more details. And without further ado, let's deep dive into CSS Animation. The next 20 minutes is going to be intense and we have an amazing mentor from the industry coming down to take up this community session. He is none other than Mr. Saurabh. Saurabh, over to you.
Hello, everyone. So we can just start the session right now. So today we are going to work on this page. We'll be using CSS animation in here. So here what we can do is, instead of making a normal jumbotron on your web page, we can use this by showing multiple items on the jumbotron. So while using CSS animation, what we can do is, whenever we take our pointer to any one portion of that jumbotron, your picture or whatever you want to view there, let's suppose you want to show a project, multiple projects on a jumbotron. So you can do what you can do is, you can add multiple projects pictures here, and if someone goes over that picture, it will enlarge and it will fill the space, and the person can see whatever they are trying to check. So let's start with the coding part. So firstly, I have already imported 4 images here. You can see your 4 images are there, right? So we have already imported 4 images. So for now, let's make a new HTML file.
Can you turn on the camera?
Are you sure? One second. Fine. Okay, so we made an index.html here. So firstly, we will make a basic structure of an HTML file. Let's for this example, let's suppose that we are making a jumbotron for home decor website. So for the title, we are adding home decor. Since we are making a jumbotron, we have to make a division that contains everything, means all these images as well as the text. So this will be our main division. So let's make a division and add a class of container. Inside that, we have multiple images. Since we have used 4 images here, what we will do is we will make multiple divisions inside the main division. And we will give a class of clip to each of them. Since later on we have to add animation individually to each of them, so what we can do is we can give another class so that we can add the animation. Apart from all this, we can see in this jumbotron in the middle, there is some text. Okay, here we can add your company name or whatever you are describing there, like my projects or anything like that. So we can add a description at the middle. So for that, we are using a paragraph tag. Okay, so HTML part is done. Now we can start with the CSS part. Let's link the CSS file to the HTML file. Okay, before we start coding the CSS, let's talk about clip path. So basically clip path is a property in CSS. So using this path, we can determine how an image should look like. So let's suppose I drag this pointer here, okay, and I want to view my image like this. Okay, only this part will be viewed. So here there will be some CSS property. It is called clip path and a polygon, and then the dimensions are given. So if we paste this property inside the image class, so what will happen is the image will be taking only this much space. Okay, so let's start with the main container, or what we can do is let's start with the universal tag. So basically, when we are working on HTML and CSS, browser already adds some padding and margin. So let's set that to 0 first. We will add a background color of black so that we can see the content properly. Now we want the image. Here we can see the Jumbotron is at the middle of the page, right? So to do that, we will add flex to this box. The main content means this is the main box, right? So here I can add display flex. To place the content in the center of the page, we need to justify the content at the center as well as align the items at the center. Now we can work on the body. So if you are talking about the body, firstly set the margin to 0 and padding to 0 as well. And we can add some background as well, because here we can see there is some background here. So we can add some background here. Since we want this text at the middle, what we can do is we will add display flex and again add justify content to the center and align items to the center. We will change the height of this page to 100 VH. So what VH stands for is viewpoint height. So what is viewpoint? This whole space that we can see here is called viewpoint. So if I'm writing 100 VH, which means I'm saying the height should be equal to 100% of this viewpoint. Now we can style our container. We will set the width to 100% of the viewpoint or the body and height to 100% as well. We will add a background color. Now we can start working on the clip. So let's suppose I want to place the first clip. Okay. So if we check this, here we can see the first clip starts from here and goes till this corner. So what we can do, we can go here. We will place it like around 50% and drag this one to the corner. Okay. So if I add this clip path, this CSS property to this particular image, then the image will occupy only this much part. Next, we can do the same thing for other clips as well, other images. Now what we have done is we have clipped all the images and we have set how it should look and how much space it should occupy in the whole Jumbotron. Now, since here we can see the text is at the center, that's why we have used the display flex and justify align here. Now I want to add some color to this text. So what I can do is I will select the class first. Then the p tag. So what it means is select all the p tags that are inside this particular class. Let's give it a color of white. And let's change the font size to 30 pixels. Now we can select the clip class so that we can apply size and everything, means how much should be the height and width of a normal image, so that when we hover over a image, we should know how much space it will take in the whole Jumbotron. Now we have added the clips, right? But we didn't add any images till now. So what we can do is we can add the images by using background and then give the URL 1.jpg, and similarly we can import all other images into the file. Now we want this image to cover the whole jumbotron, so we will use background size as cover. So when we hover over it, it will cover the whole jumbotron. And we will place the image at the center. So here we can see the jumbotron is shown here. Now we have to add the animation to it. So for now, what we can do is we can increase the size of this text so that we can view it properly. Okay, done. Now what we can do is we can start adding the animation. Firstly, we will add a hover effect to the container itself. So what I want is when I go over any one image, I want all other images to collapse into the right side. So how we can do that is we can drag all the points to the right side, and we will get a coordinate that how we can place them, and we can use that clip path. Secondly, we will select the container again, and we will style the clip itself. So when we hover over the clip, it takes the whole page. So if we go over the home decor page now, so we can see it's working perfectly right now. So the only thing that's remaining here is to change the size of this jumbotron. So here we can see I have set the size of the jumbotron, and now if we hover over any image, it's covering the whole page. So this is how we can use the clip path in many other examples as well that we will be doing in future. But instead of using a normal Jumbotron to show your projects or your products in one particular category, we can use clip path and CSS animation to do things like this.